And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we've got very important things to talk about. I hope that you stay tuned to all of it because this is important stuff. This is probably the most important topic that's on this channel, and let's get into it. So I have some people who are, they just can't stay away from the women. Okay, so I've got clients, potential clients, other people. Like there's some people that are like really want to, who easily live voluntary celibacy. It's not a problem because they're still virgins, or they struggled with getting women in the past. And then I share with them about semen retention and voluntary celibacy, and for them it's kind of like, okay, I'll do it. I'm not gonna chase the women anymore, or try to get laid or try to lose my virginity. Those are some of the guys. And man, for those guys, I'm so fired up for you guys because it's beautiful. It's awesome. All right. At one point, you guys will have 3 girls in love. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Then I got some other guys who are able to actually have sexual encounters and who are able to get pretty good, decent women. And they actually choose to live voluntary celibacy. For them, it's a huge sacrifice, right? Because they're like, I'm easily able to get it, but I choose not to. Okay, this is what we're trying to get to. That's what the Men of High Value movement is all about. Developing confident men who are able to get it, but who choose not to. That's the goal of the movement. Why is that the goal? Because that's how we're going to change the world. That's how we're going to actually achieve your dreams and goals and massively break those goals. Okay, demolish them. You're gonna be like my client, Luista, who thought he was gonna get 1,000 followers on his Instagram after 6 months, and he ended up with 20,000. Do you understand what I mean? Like, it's not even 2 times more, it's 20 times more. I want you to develop that kind of mindset, that type of wealth, that type of outlook on life, that you can create whatever it is that you want to create if you manage to get rid of distractions, right? The biggest distraction in your life will always be women. Always. There is nothing else that distracts men more from achieving their dreams and goals than women. It's simple as that. If you manage to get rid of that, oh my gosh, suddenly I have all this time in the world and all of this potential discipline and capacity and cash because I'm not spending it on women. Amazing how that works. Okay, then you have the last part of guys who are able to get girls and they cannot stay away. You are the ones I'm talking to today. Even though I'm talking to everyone, I'm talking specifically to you guys who are still sleeping around. You're still entrenched by, man, I love the pleasure. I love being with women. It's so amazing, blah, blah, blah. It's destroying women, whether you like it or not. The title of this video is Casual Sex is Russian Roulette for Women. But I can take it a step longer. Any sexual relationship that is not a lifelong commitment, okay, is Russian roulette for women. And I'm going to explain in this video why that is. And this has nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with all of that stuff. This is just plain facts of how things work. Okay, truth is that which works in the long run and in the big scheme of things, and I'm going to explain it to you. So, you've got different options. When you as a guy want to sleep with a woman, these are the different, these are the outcomes. You can say it like this. The woman desires only a short-term relationship out of this. Okay, this is the worst kind, where basically she only wants a casual sexual encounter. That's all she wants, and she's happy with that. And she clearly speaks that out to you and says, "I'm not interested in anything long-term. I just want a short-term encounter." For guys, that's like awesome. Then I don't have to commit to you. I don't have to think about you. I don't have to do anything. I can just live my life, and then friends with benefits, whatever. Okay, this is actually the worst kind of sexual relationship. I'm gonna get into why this is so bad. Okay, the second is that which happens most of the time, which is we're going on dates, and eventually we have sex, and eventually, I'm doing this because I hope that this will lead somewhere. This is what happens 80% of the time. It's just kind of like a natural progression in a relationship. And because, society has it in that way that we can basically, yeah, consensual sex, no problem. Let's get together and have some fun. That happens 80% of the time. And then you've got the last one, which is what we're trying to get to with this movement, which is that you only want long-term sexual relationships, meaning you only want the lifelong commitment. These are women who basically, I'm not giving it up before I actually find the right guy. And when I mean the right guy, I mean the guy I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. That's what we're trying to get to, where all men and all women wait until they're with their right partners for life. Okay. In this movement, it's a bit different though, because we understand that monogamy sucks. And when you know that monogamy sucks, and especially sexual relationships in monogamy sucks, then you don't really want to wait until you get settled down and have a family to have sex. Because the experiences you're going to have sexually before marriage or before that long-term commitment are going to be way better than the one you're going to have in marriage. Okay? Sometimes, not all of the time. This is very iffy in terms of science, because in marriage relationships, what's going to happen eventually, you're going to get better and better and better, and eventually those sexual experiences are going to become better than the ones you've had outside. Sometimes, not all the time. So it's that's Russian roulette as well. Okay, because you don't know what's going to happen in your marriage. However, in this moment, we've got 3 girls in love, responsible polygyny. The sex is going to be amazing there. Okay, it's impossible for it not to, because of female nature, because of how they're driven, because of hypergamy, because of women's the way that they're built is that when they see someone else receiving pleasure, they get fueled. Okay, and it's not you who's good in bed. Very often it's what happened outside of the bedroom that was good, that led up to it being nice in bed. Do you understand what I mean? So it's kind of, you got to understand that aspect of female nature, that in 3 Girls in Love, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Could you imagine you being a virgin and they all being virgins at the time that you establish 3 Girls in Love? What happens? What happens? Obsession. Okay, you want obsession. You want your women to be obsessed with you, because obsession equals commitment. Family. This is what it's all about. We're about establishing families and having them stick. How do you get 3 Girls in Love to stick? Obsession. They need to be obsessed with you for the long term. And when they do that, then you can establish amazing next generations, and evolution makes it so that every single family and every single generation from then on improves, becomes better. The women become more beautiful and more feminine. The men become more and more masculine over time, exponentially. That's what we're trying to establish. So you got those 3 options, and we know which ones we're going to choose. So let's go to 3 other options now, which is basically the option for women of sticking around. This is what's going through their head when they're having sexual relationships. 1, the outcome is that the sex was good. The sex was pleasurable. This is a huge problem. And the next one is the sex was mediocre. And the last one, the sex was awkward, bad. I don't really want to see this guy again ever, because like that was awkward, and I'm ashamed and guilty, and I feel like what was this? And she tries to wash it off because it's like was horrible. Okay, she's not gonna call you again. So okay, so you got those 3 different ones. Which ones do we want for women? I'm talking now outside of the lifelong commitment. Which one do we want for women? As men, we're designed in such a way that we desire women to have pleasure in bed. Who wants mediocre or bad sex? No one, okay? And we want connection, and we want pleasurable sex. Okay, so let's look at this. If you actually have bad sex with the woman, in a sense that she's not enjoying it at all, you've failed as a man, right? Out in society. But in terms of really crushing the woman, is probably not going to happen. She's probably going to be able to walk away from that encounter in that relationship with you quite easily, because you are needy, because you like her more than she does, and because it's just kind of, no, I don't want you, don't call me again, I'll block you right here. So that's doesn't cause as much of a problem as the other two. Okay, this is the one that causes least problems, and the thing that actually happens a lot of the time, to be honest, which is why women very often believe that having casual sexual relationships is not a big deal, because most of their casual sexual relationships suck. Okay, the guys suck in bed. Oh yeah, they had sex, but it lasted 2 minutes. It lasted 3 minutes. It wasn't. Yeah, he didn't manage to get it up, and blah blah blah. Most casual sexual relationships suck for women. So okay, so we know this, and then they continue on with their lives. But what happened? They increased their partner count. Okay, this is something that's going to go with them as emotional baggage over the long term. The higher partner count they get, the worse it is for their mental stability. But it's not really their partner count that's the problem. It's what we're getting to right now. But it's baggage. It's history. She wished she never done it. It's regrets. It's secrets. It's a burden for women. It makes them masculine. Not only this, but the fact that she had a bad sexual encounter makes it so that she desires a better encounter. Do you understand what I mean? Like, it's kind of like if she has a bad sexual experience, she now wants to improve it because it's a rejection. Okay? Women are rejected when they have a bad sexual experience. It's kind of like, okay, so now I need to improve. Now I need to find someone else to improve my sexual experiences with, because maybe I was the one who was at fault. Maybe I was the one who didn't manage to get him to get it up. Maybe, so let's try one more, and then one more, and one more. So the likelihood that she's going to continue, if she had bad experiences in the past in terms of those guys that basically sucked and didn't create the right environment for them, they're going to now continue their sexual encounters, and it's not a big deal. Oh, it's not a big deal. So now I can just go on with my life and continue my casual sexual encounters. Big problem. Okay, why? Let's go on to the next one. Mediocre sex. This happens a lot with women as well. Maybe probably more so than the bad experiences. But at the same time, a mediocre sexual experience is a bad sexual experience. Okay, let's just put it down as what it is. When you have sex with someone, you want it to be amazing. You want it to be hot. You want it to be wow. You want it to be da da da. However, if it's mediocre, it's bad. It's like it wasn't what she experienced. So, let's apply the things that I just mentioned to that. What happens when they have pleasurable, very good sexual experiences? What do you think? It's the same thing in terms of men. If you have a good sexual encounter with someone, well, what do you want? Well, yeah, I kind of want to do it again. Your brain is now put in hyperdrive that you want to be with this woman and you want to see her again and you want this, that, and the other from her. And what if she actually enjoyed it too? What if she actually thought it was amazing? This is now where Russian roulette comes in. 6 bullets are possible in that chamber. What happens? The worse you are, okay, the less bullets there are going to be. The better you are in bed, the better you are at giving her pleasurable sexual experiences, which is our goal as men in bed, because we get pleasure from women getting pleasure. The better you are, the more awesome guy you are, the better job, the better ambitions and capacity and riches you have as a guy, because you're able to protect, you're able to provide. The more good looking you are, the more handsome you are, the more you've got the full package, the more bullets are in the chamber. Women are playing Russian roulette. You are holding the gun. How many bullets are in your chamber? How awesome are you? Because the more awesome you are, the worse of a problem this becomes. Let's understand what's happening here. Let's say you are a 9 out of 10. You're absolutely awesome. You've got the career. You've got it all. Okay? You're 9 out of 10 because you haven't progressed completely yet. But you got to remember that it's in her eyes. It's not in your eyes. You know that your potential, it can be, whoa, way up there, right? But you got to understand that she might not have met anyone like you in her past, ever. You could be the one in her eyes. And she's like, I really hope that he's going to call me back. And I really hope that we're going to see each other again. And you're like, you're very nice. The thing is that men have the ability to have sexual relationships with guys that they don't want anything to do with long term. Guys are able to do that, especially if they have a purpose and they have a career to build. They can look at a girl and be like, yeah, she's cute. Yeah, I could have sex with her. And then they do that. And then they're like, oh, now she wants commitment. Yeah. No, I'm not interested in that. You were the one holding the gun. She played Russian roulette. What happened? You crushed her soul. Okay? You crushed her. And guess what? Women are very good at keeping secrets. So you might not even know that you crushed her soul, but it happened. And you might even talk to her and say, are you okay? You sure you're good? Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter what you do or how you try to comfort her if you're not going to be there for the lifelong commitment. And if you have sex with someone and you're there for lifelong commitment and she's completely against having 3 girls in love and she has different value systems, different beliefs, and you're like, I want to do the responsible thing and actually be with her for life because I did this and that. It doesn't work like that very often, okay? This is why you need to understand female nature. You need to understand, set up your financial foundation first before you get into it. That's why voluntary celibacy is so crucial. If you are a 10 in her eyes, you have 6 bullets in there, and she's gonna struggle finding another guy that's better than you in her future. What's gonna happen? What are you doing with her? Why am I calling it Russian roulette? Why? Because these are the outcomes. She now wanted to be with you, but couldn't get you. And then she will try to find someone else like you in the future. It's not going to work very well because most guys suck. And guess what? Women have something that's called a biological clock. Have you heard about it? It means that the earlier in life they are, okay, let's say over the age of 18, hopefully, okay, they have consensual sex and they end up being with the guy, okay, and then what happens? This is at their prime time. 18 to 22 is their prime time to commit to a high value partner and get the best possible guy they can. Women very often neglect this because they're emotional creatures and they follow the crowd. So they see what everyone else is doing and then they follow whatever the crowd is doing, and then they have a lot of sexual casual encounters in their 20s and in their teenage years. And then they notice that, oh, over time, no, my friends are getting married now. Interesting, they're settling down. Maybe I should be too. And then they realize their biological clock and they're like, oh, I want a baby as well. And I've heard that if I get past 30 years old, then it's more and more dangerous and the kid is going to have worse and worse problems if I, wait too long with having kids. The more burdened and the more masculine they have become from a massive amounts of casual encounters. And you got to understand that women have way more casual encounters than men do very often if they're pretty and they believe that casual encounters is not a big deal. They will lie about their number. You got to understand that. Why? Because that helps them to get a higher value man, right? And their biology is designed in such a way that whatever is necessary for them to secure a man of high value, they will do it. Okay, if that includes lying, then so be it, because it's my biological clock we're talking about. It's my progeny. It's my kids. It's my future generations. I need to get that man of high value. So anyway, we're moving on. What happens is that she will end up settling. Do you know how horrific settling is? Meaning that you could have gotten that guy, but you didn't manage to get that guy. So we're going to go to another guy, which is the best possible guy that I can get, that I can trust. Who do masculine women marry? They marry feminine guys. that they're not attracted to very often. They might be attracted in the beginning, but the attraction disappears so quickly because he's feminine. And we know that women are attracted to masculine men, but they don't trust masculine men because all of the masculine men that they've been with have screwed them over in their past. Multiple times. Those were the guys she wanted to be with, but those were the bad guys, right? The guys who had experience, the guys who had confidence, the guys who didn't give an F about whatever everyone else thought. Those are the guys that get the girls. But that's a problem because those are the guys that screw over our women, and they screw over the women of the future husbands, right? These guys who end up marrying women in their 30s and get girls that are in their 30s who had a crazy past in their 20s and in their teenage years, and then they're now settling with this guy. The guy is hoping that his marriage and family is going to be amazing. It's not going to be amazing because you suck, okay? He sucks from his feminine standpoint compared to all of the guys that she had pleasurable experiences with in the past. The woman now might have had some potential experiences with this guy, but every single time in long-term relationships, the attraction disappears in women. Suddenly her desire is not there anymore. She wonders what's going on with her. It's not her fault. It's the environment that has been created by the man of low value that accepted a woman that's in her 30s. I'm not saying that women are low value, okay? All women have value. But what I'm saying is that we're trying to elevate women's value in men's eyes in terms of attraction level, okay? All women have value, but we as men in society have to bring up that value together as a community by not having any sexual encounters with women that we're not committed to for life. That's our goal in this community. I made this community to protect women and children. When men have sex with women outside of a lifelong commitment, they're being screwed over. They're playing Russian roulette. They're going to have miserable marriages. The higher the partner count, the more likelihood she's going to have past experiences that were heartbreaks with masculine men that she had the potential of being with, and then it ended up not happening and she chose that guy instead. Very bad idea. Who do you think suffers the most? All of them. Every single one in that family are going to suffer as a result of maybe one night stand. Maybe one guy. Maybe he managed to be with her for two years. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It was a sexual encounter. Sometimes even kissing is enough to create that attraction. Maybe not kissing on a one night thing if she's done it with thousands of guys. But do you understand my drift? The more emotional connection a woman gets, and very often that's what sex is all about, is creating an emotional connection. If she doesn't have an emotional connection with you, she's probably not going to give it to you, right? So, but it's going to screw over her. And very often, the higher partner count she has, the more mental instability she will have, right? That's going to mess up her kids because she doesn't have capacity to take care of the kids. And she's struggling with herself, with her own problems, with her own baggage, with her own past. And she's trying to take care of the kids, and she puts the kids away and goes into the workforce instead because she can handle that, but she can't handle the kids. The kids will grow up without a mother, a proper mother, okay? And they're going to struggle as a result. And then the man, what's going to happen with his potential? What's going to happen with his motivation? What's going to happen with his outlook on life? He's basically gotten married, and because he's a good guy, he's trying to make things work and trying to solve her problems, but he has no idea what happened in her past because, she doesn't want to share. The best thing a man can do when he's in that type of relationship is to get her to speak up about what happened, right? For all of you married guys out there who's struggling, you have to do that. You got to get her to spill the beans. Get it all out, okay? We got to clear up this baggage or else our marriage is going to continue to suck for the next 40 years. It took me 3 years in my marriage to want to hear about what, whatever, right? The best, in terms of monogamy, what they say is that the best monogamous relationships is where both are virgins. Okay. Now you can imagine 3 Girls in Love is going to be 20 times, 50 times, 100 times better than any monogamous relationship in terms of everything when you apply the correct principles as taught on this channel and the 3 Girls in Love channel. But for this, in terms of this, in monogamy, 2 virgins marrying each other has the highest likelihood of succeeding. So my goal is to get to the point where no men ever initiate casual sexual relationships with women, ever. This is a case of education. Okay, this is a case of ignorance. Men not understanding what they're doing to women and that they're actually the one holding the gun while women play Russian roulette consensually. Okay, women are ignorant on the subject, men are ignorant on the subject, and because of ignorance, we don't know what we don't know. There's going to be consequences no matter what. Facts are the facts. Okay, my goal is to get to the point, because we know that if men do not initiate anything, women are not going to do it. If men do not initiate casual sexual relationships, women are going to grow up being virgins, and then guess what? Eventually, because that's how society is doing it, that's the environment I'm in, I'm going to connect with the high value man as much as possible, right? That's how women will think in that kind of society. Obviously, you don't have capacity to solve that problem. But long term, over the next 500 years, that problem, I don't know if it's 500 years, who knows, but that problem will be solved. Why? Because continuously, as a species, we're moving towards truth. I know things will improve continuously. They always do. Okay? No matter if it seems like the world is going to be destroyed today or in 100 years or whatever it is, not so. This world is going to continue. And it improves continuously with each generation because of information, because of education, because we're understanding and learning more. If you are having sex with someone who is not aware of the consequences, or who is not aware in general that you are having sex with her, what's that? That's rape. Very often, if you've got this knowledge, okay, I'm going to destroy this for you. If you've got this knowledge and this woman does not have the knowledge that you have about the consequences of sexual relationships for her if she's not committed long term, at least you know. She's not going to know. She's going to want you. She's going to be like, oh, come on, please. You know the consequences for her. Stop it. Don't do it. Make a firm decision to be voluntary celibate until you're ready for 3 Girls in Love, where you commit to three women for life, and you take at the same time, by not living monogamy, you take 2 women off the market and giving them joy and happiness because they're joining you. 2 extra women off the market. Okay? If men of high value can begin to do that, eventually women will only have sexual relationships with men of high value. You see that? Do you see the connection? Because there's going to be 2/3 of men are going to be low value. Who cares? They need to get their act together so that they can qualify. I don't care about them. They need to progress. They need to improve. They need to gain the trust of the fathers. In this movement, it's all about trust. It's all about being a man of high value and committing for the long term so that it benefits everyone, the men, the women, and the children. And I'm never, ever, ever going to give up until we've achieved it. It's not going to be achieved in my lifetime, but I'm freaking fired up outside my brain to solve this problem. And if you are with me, this is the movement for you. This is what we're creating. I'm fired up outside my brain. I've got so many things I want to share with you about the woman, but I don't want to share it with you until you are committed to the cause. Because if you're not committed, you might use that information to create a lot more damage than was necessary. I'm going to end there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Hope you have a fantastic day. Be fantastic. Build your strong financial foundation. And let's make this happen. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you in the next one.